really was.
All right. So, what inspired you to write this book? I mean, you have such a catching title, Life is So Precious, and to a lot of us, I know it is precious. I know people say that all the time, but I know as a veteran being in combat and losing fellow service members, I know personally how precious life really is. What inspired you to start writing in general?
I think I want to say I picked up my gift right when I lost my mother 22 years ago.
Okay.
And when I lost her is when I discovered I had a gift.
Uh-huh.
And I want to say to everyone today, and even you guys in the studio, everybody has a gift.
Right.
And everybody has a purpose.
Yes, we believe that wholeheartedly.
And sometimes something has to happen to bring the good out of you because it's already in you. But something always has to happen just to bring that out of you.
Right.
And sometimes it can be tragedy, it can be a sudden accident, whatever it is, it's just to bring something that's inside of you to come out.
So you think the loss of your mother is what it helped you discover this gift, and that's what brought this out of you, this new sense of passion?
Yeah, just when I lost my mother 22 years ago, I just started writing.
Okay.
Didn't even know it was in me. I just started writing. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Right.
So when I later ended up retiring from the Army, I was already writing.
Right.
So I just made it out of a book.
Okay. Okay. You basically you took the time to put your words on paper, and it became this beautiful book for you. Is that my understanding?
Yes, it did.
Yes.
That's correct.
Did you find
Took a lot of mental notes.
Right. Now, I know that we had talked a little bit earlier, just the other day, and there was something that you brought up, and it really kind of touched me because I myself, I've had traumatic brain injury, I've had a lot of different injuries, and I know PTSD is one of those unseen injuries that a good majority of us veterans carry. Did you find your writing and the telling of your story any way therapeutic, and what about it was therapeutic? Like, how did it help you kind of transition your current state to the state that you're in now and what you're trying to accomplish?
Well, I would like to say, first off, I'm steady transitioning because after being in something for so long, you're constantly transitioning because you've been in a system that just had you cooped up for so many years.
Right.
So I've only been retired just 4 years, and I'm still transitioning.
Okay.
Transitioning from the military life of being a soldier, of discipline, to now family. And right now, family is one of my biggest struggles because I struggle with my mom and just recent loss of my sister. It'll be 8 years, April 1st.
Uh-huh.
So that's a transition for me.
Oh, wow. You have that anniversary coming up, so that makes your transition...
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I was able to come home on emergency leave.
Right.
But then right after the funeral for my sister, I had to leave right back out.
Yeah.
So I'm always transitioning. As a matter of fact, everyone is always transitioning. But my book was therapeutic because I was able to get all those thoughts together.
Right.
And I was able to heal myself.
Okay.
And I was able to purge myself.
Right.
And just really think about my accomplishments, my achievements, my ups and my downs, because we all have them.
Yes, we do.
And I was able to get a positive message out of it. Because if you could persevere for being in war, or even in your personal life, if you lost a wife or somebody left you, in my case, losing my mother and even my dad walking away.
Yes.
Man, you got to get a story. You got to get a story out of that.
Yes, you do.
So was that your biggest down then? Is losing your mother, during the time you were in service?
Yeah, I want to say that was one of the biggest parts that just really blew me away because, man, you only get one mother, and there is no substitute. And I was very close to my mom, and that's for all the women out there. Women are queens, man. We have to respect them because when my mother died, like I explained in my book, when my mother died, my dad didn't know what to do.
Right.
So he basically dropped the pieces and he walked away. But as women, I know if my mother was still alive, she would have picked up the pieces and kept it moving.
She would have been
So
the
we
glue to
have to
hold you
give it-
guys together.
Right, we have to give it up to all the women, because without the women, there is no us, because we need them, just like the rivers of the water needs the waves to mix through the day. We
Yes.
need the women the same way. We need them.
We do.
So
Absolutely,
my
I agree.
hat's off, and I salute
Yep.
all the women.
We absolutely agree with you, and you know, it really touches me that you reached out to us, because here, like, we have a passion for purpose, and I know you talk about your transition, and you have those, not only the PTSD from the combat, but the personal PTSD that everybody experiences at one point or another in their life. It's sad to say, but you know, I think there's adversity can connect me universally to anyone in the world instantly, because everybody has to go through it. So what things did you take out of those therapeutic lessons you learned from your writing, and how did you apply them to better shape the construct of your life, and how you're directing your life right now?
Well, what I did was, and I want to explain to everyone in the studio and out there that's listening, is that your good is your promise.
Right.
Because whatever's inside of you, you're gonna get promised to receive that, whatever your heart is desiring. And you have to think of it as a term of being positive. You
Right.
can't look at it as a negative thing. It's to destroy me, take my life away. No, it's not to do that. It's to get you to the next level. And like I wrote in my book, you take gold, for instance. Gold doesn't become real and pure gold until it goes through the fire.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
that fire is gonna be hot.
Yes.
And it may even burn, but if it's real gold, it ain't gonna burn it. It's just gonna purify it and make it more stronger, so it can get out there on the market and be sold.
Right.
So that's what our lives are all about. We got to go through these moments in order to reach to the other side, because how are we going to know there's a light at the end of your tunnel if you don't get in that tunnel and get through it?
That's right. I agree with you. How much of this reflection kind of shed light onto maybe some resources, and I'm speaking of resources in the sense of intangible resources, like creativity, like being able to write, other things that generate that positive influence for you. How did your reflection and the therapy of writing, did that illuminate any of that for you? Did that show you resources you may not knew you had, or any resources that you didn't know were as strong as they potentially were before you started this kind of journey for yourself?
Well, yeah, it's all of that, but I will say you really don't know who you are until you've gone through some rough moments.
Right.
I mean, when things are going good in our lives, I mean, it's good, but man, I'm going to tell you, when things are not good and you begin to find out who's really there,
Yes.
that's when you find out who you really are. Is from the things that you have to have challenges and struggles with.
You're
And
right.
that's what makes a person what they are today. So you basically got to find out who you are.
Right.
You got to know who you are and know that there is something special about you, and that you will not be defeated, and that you will win, because it's all about winning.
Right.
You know, we lost a few things, but now you got to win a couple of more to
Right.
make up and make it balance.
Do you
So
think?
it's basically just finding out who you are.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that I would use the word fulfillment personally in my particular journey, because to me the winning isn't the important part. The real winning to me is the feeling and the sense of fulfillment. And I know that for some that's a very hard thirst to quench. Have you ever had experience with that during this journey, or have you just, like, what was it that began giving you feelings of fulfillment?
I started feeling really good knowing that I had a foundation through the military,
Right.
and that I had a good career going, and that that gave me hope, because it took, I remember when my mom first died, it took this first sergeant.
Uh-huh.
You know, sometimes people can see something in you as well. I mean, even in the midst of a storm, they can see that you got an umbrella waiting on you to get through that storm, so you don't
Right.
get all wet up.
Right.
So this first sergeant, looked at me and told me, he said, Pete, he said, man, there's something good about you. He said, you are a great asset to the military and to the Army. And I'm going to tell you, that lifted me up. That made me do the Forrest Gump, and I had to keep on running.
Right.
Because I couldn't stop, you know.
See,
So that lifted me up and that encouraged me.
that really, I'm so glad to hear that, because I know that, you know, you hear stories about toxic leaders in the military, and you hear stories about all the hazing, and you hear stories about what's wrong, but you never hear those little occurrences that are so positive that it has literally changed your life. I would hope to be safe to assume. Like, that's why I'm glad that you're reaching out on the show and that you're talking about your book and your experience, because, you know, if there are viewers and listeners out there that think this is boring, that's okay. I'm okay with that. But if this touches one person and has a positive impact, even in a smallest scale, that helps them get onto that path, then to me it's worth it. Wholeheartedly, it's worth it. I don't care if I only have one listener. That is more important to me. So.
Yeah, because everyone needs to understand also that it's not the big things that saves us.
Right.
It's just the little bitty things, man. It can be the touch of a butterfly. And you know, a butterfly is really light.
Yes.
But just from looking at that colorful, nicely made butterfly, just touching you on the shoulder, that's just letting you know you don't make it.
Yeah.
So it's just the little things. It's not always big things. Because I noticed that when there's a lot of people around, there's so much confusion. When you have just a few folks there, everything is just peace and calm and like harmony, singing in the choir, you know.
Nice and
So
simple.
it's just a little thing.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about your book. How did it get published? Like, how did this come to be? Like, it just kind of, did it spring on you? Is this something you planned? Like, give us a little info about your book.
Well, my book came about when I was getting ready to retire from the Army.
Okay.
And I was just thinking to myself, what do I want to do with the rest of my life? Because I just made 51 in January, and I don't even look it. So,
well, that's good, man. I'm glad for you.
Are you putting yourself out
I
there? Is what
wanted
you're trying to say?
I wanted to do more and give more because, for one, I'm a people person. I just love people, man.
Right,
I'm talking
right.
like homeless folks, families that are struggling,
Right.
our youth, people that are in prison. It's like my heart just goes out to everybody. I mean, I don't care what color your skin is.
Right.
I'm a people person.
Yes.
So I was thinking, how can I become a multi-millionaire legally now?
Right.
Legally.
Yes.
Because, you know, I still have a lot to lose by being in the Army and being retired because if you mess up, you can still lose it. So
Yes.
I wanted to try to add on to my foundation and just keep it going. So I just decided to write a book. And see, I've always wanted to be into movies, commercials, and,
Right.
you know, because because in my book I have a picture with me and Magic Johnson in there.
Oh, nice.
And, yeah, and I wanted to, and I wrote a piece about him in my book, you know, just to show how humble he was. He
Okay.
gave me some words before I left to go to Iraq.
Do you want to
So
share
I
those
just thought,
words?
what else can I do? Say it again.
Do you want to share the words that he gave to you before you went to Iraq? Or is that personal?
Oh, he was telling me, he said, Pete, he said, because I was sharing with him my hopes and my dreams, and he said, when you get there, he said, I want you to remember one thing. If you don't remember anything else, he said to stay humble, be a people person, and remember that you're no better than the next person. And keep your circle small, because a lot of people are going to try to snatch you and take from you like the sharks do in the water and the wolves on land.
Yes.
He said, but keep that circle small, and he said, you're going to do fine. And I never got those words from a legend, you know, sharing that with me. And that's what I plan on doing. You know, I want to give back. I want to be able to show people that I care.
Right.
Because I really do. Man, I care so much. I just, and I want to share that because I think it's beautiful, especially in the way things are going today in our world, our nation.
Yes.
You know, I just want to be a light. You know, I want to be a helping hand.
You want to be a beacon of hope for those who feel lost.